Hello, and welcome to my Adobe Sign for Salesforce demonstration. I'm Peter LaBelle. In this demonstration, we're going to use Salesforce to send an agreement through Adobe Sign to a vendor. That vendor will review the document, enter some information, sign it, and then it will then go to our secondary signer, who will be myself, acting as a fictitious user named Tim Watley. So let's go ahead and get this started. So what I'll do here is from my Salesforce screen, I'm going to search for an opportunity. I have an opportunity just simply called Project YOW. And what I'm going to do here is just do a quick review of the screen. You'll see that the stages of this opportunity are set to prospecting right now. And over on the right-hand side, what we've done is we've added the Adobe Sign widget to the opportunity page that allows me to send and manage agreements right from this particular panel. So what I'll do here is I'll click on Send an Agreement, and I have the option of choosing from a number of predefined agreements that I have set up in Salesforce. Here I'm going to choose my partner agreement, and at this point the agreement screen will get configured and ready to send. Important to note that this can be set up in a way that we don't see this screen that it automatically sends when we push the button. But in this case here, it's coming up for review, and we can see that currently that the agreement is going to go to our user called Sarah Rose, and then the secondary signer is going to be myself, Tim Watley here, my fictitious user. Also down here in the agreement configuration, I've already got things like the subject line is already pre-configured, and basically what's happening here is it's pulling a lot of this information from the actual Salesforce opportunity and or the primary contact for that opportunity. In this case, our primary contact was Sarah Rose, and the name of the company is called Erie Investments. So then down here we can also see in the agreement that we have got a pre-configured document ready to go here called agreement document. But if I needed to add additional documents to this particular agreement before it gets sent out, that's one of the benefits of having the preview on, is that I can click on add files, and then from there I can go ahead and add documents to this agreement, send them out for signature, and that can come from either the Salesforce CRM or pre-configured Salesforce documents. I can go grab something from the Adobe Sign library, or way over here on the bottom right-hand corner, I have the option of uploading maybe a document that I just finished off in Microsoft Word or another product. So we have the options to add documents a number of different ways. I think I'll just click cancel, and we'll go with the pre-configured partner agreement that's already attached. Lastly, over on the right, we've set up on this particular agreement template things like completion deadline automatically set to a certain amount of days after the agreement gets sent out. I have the default recipient's language. This one is really just using the default English, but I could set it up to actually pull the language of the primary contact. So if Sarah Rose, if her language was set to Spanish, I could have pulled that right in here, and then her correspondence that goes out with Adobe Sign would be in Spanish, for instance. Here I've also got a post direct URL as well as a delay before it redirects. So those are some options that we can set up. We've got our recipients, we've got our document, we've got our options. I think I'm happy with everything that I see here. So all I'm going to do is click on send, and that agreement is now being sent out from Salesforce through to Adobe Sign and on to our recipient, Sarah Rose. I get my confirmation that says that this was successfully sent out. So let's just go back to Salesforce and check a couple of things before we put on our Sarah Rose hat and go and sign this document. You'll see that if I go back over to Salesforce, I've added the Adobe Sign app, which is available in the Salesforce App Exchange. And it does not require any fees or special configuration that you need to develop anything. You just plug and play, set a few options, and you should be good to go on that particular add-in. So you'll see here that I've got the Adobe Sign add-in. I've actually added it to the top of my app picker here so that I can get to it really quickly and show it to people. But you'll see that I've got the Adobe Sign for Salesforce, again, available in the Salesforce App Exchange. And what that does is it adds this toolbar here that I can then do things like create agreement templates, manage my agreements, set up what's known as data mapping and merge mapping. So data mapping is where I'm going to take information from that Adobe Sign agreement and put it back into Salesforce. And merge mapping is a feature that allows me to take information from my Salesforce record, such as primary contact information and company organizational information, and then add that right into my Adobe Sign agreement. I'm doing that in this particular demo. You'll see the result of that in a moment. All right, so the other thing I can do is you'll see that if I go to Manage Agreements, we'll see that if I go to In Progress, I can see that here is a new partner agreement for Erie Investments that has gone out to Sarah Rose. Now, of course, from here, I can send out reminders. I can also select that particular line item, and if I need to cancel it, or potentially here I can go in and modify that agreement. So if maybe I sent the wrong document and I need to swap it out for a new document, as long as it hasn't been signed or approved, I can do that from here. Okay, so that's you can manage the agreement from within the add-in, but let's go ahead and sign this document as Sarah Rose. So what I'll just do is open up a new window here, and we'll go to an email client, and we'll log in as my Sarah Rose character, and you'll see that in this case here we've got signature requested on partner agreement for Erie Investments, came from Tim, and that happened today. So what I'll do is I'll open that up, and I'll do that in a incognito or in private window here, just so that I don't confuse Adobe Sign with my being two different people. But here I'm going to open that up, and you'll see that this document that comes in sent from Salesforce has the company information, her first name, address, and everything is added into this document. That's actually pulling it right from the Salesforce record, injecting it into the document, and then sending it off. So all Sarah needs to do is review the document, and if she's satisfied with this particular agreement or contract, she'll go ahead and sign it. Now, of course, when we go to sign this document, the methods that we can use to sign are either type in your name, or you can go ahead and scribble it with your finger or a mouse, for instance, or you can upload an image if you have a scanned image or a picture of your signature, or you can even send a link to your mobile device so that you can sign it on your mobile device, click on done, and then that signature is returned to your in-browser session. Let's leave it on this little scribble that I have, and I'll click on apply, and now we can see the signature applied to that document, and she can go ahead and sign that document. So document sent out from Salesforce with merged data. After 3 seconds, we've redirected over to our other web page here. Okay, so let's go back to Salesforce for a moment, and we'll just take note of a couple of things that happened. First of all, if I was to maybe refresh this page where I'm at right now, we should see that that document is no longer in the in progress. It's now flipped over to waiting for you, and it's now available in here because I need to, I'm being Tim Watley here, and Tim needs to sign it, so it's moved into his queue for signing. Of course, he would also get this through email and be able to open it up and sign from there as well. Or if you have the mobile app on your device, you could use that as another option. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I am going to just also show you this as well as we're going along through the process. One of the things I've configured in this particular demonstration is that I want to be able to update some of my Salesforce records as this document is going through its signing process. So if I go back to my project YOW here, what you'll notice now is that my stages have been updated from prospecting all the way up to proposal here. I just set that arbitrarily, but in my mappings, that's what I set it up now. Of course, I could go and create some custom stages and set that up a little bit more efficiently or effectively, but you'll see that the main thing here is that we are actually collecting data from the Adobe Sign process and updating Salesforce along the way. So it's set to proposal right now. Let's go back over to manage agreements. And I will now countersign this particular agreement. So I'm going to select it and I will click on sign over here on the right. It will bring up that same document that, of course, Sarah Rose has signed. So we can see that information. We can see the signature that she did today and with the scribble on it. And here I'm just going to go ahead and sign it. Now, because Adobe Sign already knows who I am, it's just automatically applying my signature to that document. And I think we're ready to go here. I can click on the sign button and that document has now been countersigned. So what we should be able to do now is go back to our project and we can see again that the stages have moved all the way over. Maybe my stages are contract progress and now we can see that it's fully executed. So it's all the way over to closed won. So that is some of the features that we have with Salesforce. We can take a document, send it out, merge data from our records into it, and of course we can collect data from that agreement and update our record in Salesforce. To finish this off, I'll also like to show you over here on the right this agreement widget that we have on our Salesforce opportunity page here. You'll notice that it now has a partner agreement for Erie Investments. It says that it was signed today, and I can go and view that, or if there's other ones I can go and view those as well. But let's click on that agreement here and it will bring up in Salesforce details of that signed agreement, including here's the agreement page that had the recipients and the subject, but you'll also notice that it's got a collection of the signed documents that were collected along the way here. So as well as a nice picture of it so we can actually see very quickly that agreement with the signatures on it. It has the agreement events, when it was sent out, when it was all signed by the various participants. And again, over here, you've got a list of the files, including the document, what it looked like when it was originally sent out, when it was signed by Sarah, when it was signed by Tim, and then there's also what we call the audit report is in here as well. Let's click on that one and I'll show you the audit report. The audit report is a PDF document that is stored with your signed document, and you can see that it has all of the information that was collected along the way. This is also a protected document so that people can't fake the data and change it along the way. But you'll see that it has when the document was created, when it was sent to Sarah, when she viewed it, when she signed it, and so on all the way through. So that's what we call the audit report that is stored with that document. I hope you enjoyed that demonstration. It was kind of fun to present. So the in the future, I'll provide additional videos on how to create and configure the agreement templates, as well as how to add and configure the Adobe Sign app from the App Exchange into your Adobe Sign into your Salesforce environment, so that you can send documents from Salesforce as well. There is another feature worth mentioning that the Sign add-in also provides in Salesforce, and that is what we call batch agreements. So under the batch agreements feature, which you'll see that there's a link up here on the top right hand corner of my my menu bar, batch agreements would allow you to potentially do something like search for all of my vendors where their contracts are expiring at the end of the month, and then automatically send out a renewal, for instance, for all of those expiring contracts. So you can set up some bulk sends as well using the tool. So thanks for attending today. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.